The Grand Mirror. The following story, created by me and AI, is based on a real grand mirror that has been in our family for years, for over 50 years. My mom had once written a fictional story about this mirror, but it was lost when her computer was stolen years ago. So I took it upon myself to recreate it based on what my mom told me. Though this story is fictional, the mirror, my dad and mom, their purchase and shipping of this mirror to South Africa, my siblings' roles, etc., are all real. Our ancestor, the organ maker, is real, but it is fictional that he might have owned the mirror back in England, as is the letters found in the mirror's secret compartment. So, without any further ado, here is the story. The Grand Mirror. In a quaint English antique shop, a grand mirror stood, its wide main surface gleaming softly, flanked by three smaller mirrors on the doors below. A cool marble slab rested on top. One day, a young couple, eyes sparkling with love and dreams, found the mirror, their eyes drawn to its old world charm. It seemed to whisper tales of old romance. They envisioned their future reflected in its depths. With a shared smile, they bought the mirror, its journey from the dusty shop to their home, marking the start of its new life, watching over the mirror's moments, the family's moments, big and small. On their wedding day, the mirror stood witness as they posed before it, capturing their joy in its timeless frame. But life took an unexpected turn. Duty called the young man away to the Boer War. With heavy hearts, they kept the mirror, its reflection of their love story paused, waiting for the reunion. The young man went off to fight in the Boer War, leaving his bride and grand mirror behind. News of his passing at the Battle of Spioenkop reached her, shattering her world. She kept the mirror, its reflections now a painful reminder of their lost future. Eventually, she had to sell it, the mirror carrying with it the echoes of their love and the tragedy that befell them. The mirror found its way back to a quaint antique shop in the English countryside, a silent observer of passing time. It became a fixture, an old world charm, a constant in the shop's ever-changing inventory. Years turned into decades, and the mirror remained, its story fading into the background of the shop's daily life. The grand mirror awaited its new owners, its wide main surface and three mirrored doors below held stories of the past, now ready for a new chapter. Then, more than a half a century later, another couple stepped inside, their eyes drawn to its unique beauty. They didn't know its history, but they felt its pull, a connection to something old and meaningful. They bought the mirror, ready to write their own story within its reflections. The young couple, fresh from their wedding in Africa, arrived in England to work at their country's embassy. The grand mirror, now part of their lives, held its secrets, reflecting not just their images but the hidden truths of his operations. Unbeknownst to them, the mirror had once belonged to an ancestor of his who had lived in England generations before, immigrated to the Cape Colony where he built glorious organs for the large churches there, including the first church organ built in any of the British colonies according to the South African Commercial Advertiser dated 31 December 1834. It was a strange twist of fate that a young man, one of his great-great-grandchildren, would now own his old mirror. As time went on, their lives in England were blessed with the arrival of a son, whom they named after their ancestor. The grand mirror, now a silent observer of their family life, reflected their joy as they watched him grow. One sunny afternoon, the curious young son stood before the grand mirror, his blue eyes wide with wonder. He stuck out his tongue and then burst into giggles as he tried to catch his reflection doing the same. Suddenly, he bumped the mirror, making it wobble precariously. His eyes widened in surprise. Then he erupted into laughter as his reflection seemed to mimic his own clumsy dance. Soon the family's time in England came to an end. They packed their belongings, including the grand mirror, an old piano, and a set of antique chairs and a table, all with a hint of mystery about their own past owners. The items were carefully loaded onto a ship bound for Africa, ready for the next chapter of their lives. When the couple finally arrived, their ship was delayed. But the excitement grew as they waited for the new grand old mirror and the other belongings to arrive. They were worried about the mirror, that it might have broken during the long journey, but to their surprise it arrived without a single scratch, just as beautiful as the day they bought it. Soon they had another son, but sadly he only lived a few hours. Then they welcomed a beautiful baby girl with blonde curly hair. She had a flair for the dramatic, even as a child. She loved dressing up in her mother's old clothes and putting on little plays for her family, always with great enthusiasm and a big smile. She'd often stand in front of the mirror, using a hairbrush as a microphone, and belt out songs as if she were on a big stage. Her older brother did the same, preaching. Soon after, another son was born. He would become an avid sportsman with a passion for hunting and fishing. And finally came their last child, a daughter, their laatlammetjie. She had a playful spirit that brought a lot of laughter to the family. All the kids enjoyed playing in front of the mirror. They made silly faces, danced around, and sometimes even put on little shows for the family. It was their own little stage. The grandmother mirror stood and stayed in the family for years, moving from one child's home to another. It became part of their lives, reflecting not only the couple, but also their children and eventually their grandchildren. As the years passed, the mirror witnessed the ebb and flow of life within the family. It reflected moments of pure joy, like the daughter's laughter as she twirled in her mother's dress, and heartbreaking times like when the father said his final goodbyes. Yet through it all, the mirror held on to a quiet hope, a silent promise that love and memories would endure. Years after the father's passing, the mirror found itself in the care of the youngest daughter. She cherished it, not just as a family heirloom, but as a link to her past. One day, while cleaning the mirror, she discovered a hidden compartment within the frame. Inside, she found old letters and a small, worn diary. As she read through them, the mirror's secrets began to unravel. The diary belonged to the patriarch, the mirror's original owner, the organ maker. It told of his life in England, his dreams, and his decision to immigrate to Africa. The letters were from his wife, detailing their struggles and hopes in a new land. The youngest daughter learned of her family's history, their triumphs and tragedies. With this new understanding, the mirror became more than just a beautiful object. It was a symbol of her family's journey, a testament to their resilience and love. And so the grand mirror continued its silent watch, its surface reflecting not just images, but the enduring story of a family connected across continents and generations. That grand old mirror now awaits its new season. Who will be its new owner? and what new life events will it soon begin to witness? As nothing is hidden from him with whom we have to do.